Okay, people, let's continue on. This is going to be our practice test for Chapter 6, and this looks like it's going to be numbers 21 through 30 approximately. And let's get going. So it says this is a rhombus. Ooh, right away, we should know the 8 properties of a rhombus. Then it tells us a couple of expressions for these angles. This one here is 15x. That's nice. This one right here is x plus y. That's angle 2. And then it says something about angle 3. Angle 3 is going to be a 30z. Okay, so let's find each variable in here. Let's see, what do we know about a rhombus? Well, the rhombus's diagonals are perpendicular to one another. So last time I checked, 90 divided by 15 is, what is that? That is 6, not 4. What am I thinking? So that is 6. So right away, I'm going to cross out this one here. That's no good. That one's no good. X has to be 6. It's either going to be B or D. Let's keep on going. Well, let's find Z, for example. 30Z is going to be equal to 90 degrees as well. So Z has to be a 3. So this has a flaw in it. How do I know it has a flaw? Well, it was created by humans. I've done this for a few years, this practice test before, and I just remembered I've done this before, and this one does have a flaw. Z is definitely going to be 3. Okay, so if you take a look, and here, it is impossible for B and C to be the answers because Z has to be 3. All right, so let's keep on going. To find Y, what do I know? I know x plus y is equal to 90 as well, but I already know the value of x. X is 6. So what does that imply about y? Well, y would have to be 84. So this one's pretty close. So is that one. Excuse me, this one is pretty close as x and y being correct. Z is not correct. Z is exactly 3. So those are the 3 answers for x and y. Z, there's actually no correct answer within this practice test, but we did find the 3 correct answers. Okay, please remember these are designed by humans. They do make mistakes. All right, here we go. So we have a rectangle now, and we do not have a picture. We have to draw our own picture. So when I draw my own picture in here, which I'm about to do right here, and I'm also going to put some diagonals in, just in case we need some diagonals. And I'm going to put some letters in corresponding to the shape D, E, F, and G. Whoops, where'd that go? And G. And it says DF is 5x minus 5. And so that is this entire diagonal going from here to here right there. And what else do we know? We know EG is where? EG is this entire diagonal. And what do we know? That's x plus 11. So one of the properties of being a rectangle is the diagonals are congruent. So I'm going to set them equal to one another because I'm trying to find the value of x. So it looks like 4x is going to be 16. It looks like x is 4. So if x is 4, I'm going to keep on going. I need to find the length of each diagonal, and I know they're going to be the same. Let me do a lot of back substitute. And so if I substitute it into this one, for example, 4 plus 11 is 15. So that means each diagonal is going to be 15 and 15. And it looks like C is the right answer. X is 4, and DF and EG are 15 and 15. Okay, let's take a look at 23. Where's 23? Well, it's right here. It looks like to be a trapezoid. How do I know that? Well, exactly one pair of opposite sides are congruent. And it's not isosceles. There's no tick marks being it's isosceles. But we do know these 2 angles in here, they're not going to be congruent. They are going to be supplementary to each other. And upon further review, this angle here and that angle here, they're going to be supplementary as well. So to find A, what is the supplement of of 36? That's going to be 144. 144 is going to be value of A. Definitely not going to be these answers. And then what is the supplement of 113? So that's going to be 167. 67, excuse me, just 67. kind of late. I'm doing some subtraction. So here we go. Part A. Excuse me, not part A. Answer A. That is the answer to A and B. 144 and 67. Our next question. It says the isosceles trapezoid is part of an isosceles triangle. Well, this is an isosceles triangle. I'm going to put those two being blue, and they're the same. And then it's talking about this shape down in here is an isosceles trapezoid. So if it's an isosceles trapezoid, I know these two are congruent. I also know that these two parts are congruent as well because it has to be an isosceles triangle. And it says the vertex angle is 46. That's referring to that angle right there. So if it's an isosceles triangle, that means these two base angles, they have to be the same as well. So if I take 180 minus 46, this is looking like 134. And if I take 134 and I divide it by 2, what is that answer? That is 67. That means this angle here is 67 and that angle right there is 67. And so with that angle and that angle, those are corresponding angles to one another. And what is the supplement of 67 degrees? That is 113. So this angle is 113 and that angle is 113. All right, let me keep on reading here. What is the measure of the acute base angle of the trapezoid? Well, there are 4 angles in the trapezoid, 2 green ones and 2 yellow ones. And the acute one is going to be 67. So I know that is the answer to the first part of the question. And then it says, what is the angle to the obtuse base angle? And that's going to be 113. So where is the answer? It looks like part B, 67 and 113. All right, let's do 25. 25 says what? It is a kite. So notice these two are congruent and these two are congruent. Ding, 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 it's a kite. So these two diagonals are always going to be perpendicular on a kite. So right away, angle 2 is 90 degrees. That's by definition of the properties of a kite. And so, what else do we know? It looks like this angle in here is 39 degrees. So angle 1 is going to be 39 degrees as well, because that angle gets bisected by that particular part of the diagonal. And the complement of 39 is going to be angle 3. So if I take 90 minus 39, that's going to be 51. 51 is going to be angle 3. So what do we have to find? We have to find angle 1, which is 39. And then we have to find angle 3, which is 51. So what's our answer? C. 26. R is 130. 130 is R, and this is a kite. Notice these two are the same, and these two are the same. It's a kite. Angle S is 80 degrees. Right away, I'm going to put an 80 over here. Why? Because in a kite, when we have the picture orientated like it is, there's a mirror image on both sides with the kite in here, and if that side's 80, the other side is 80. One theorem to keep in mind that we learned a long time ago: in every single quadrilateral in the world, there's 360 degrees. So far, I have 3 of the 4 angles. I have 80, 80, and 130, so it looks like I have 290 degrees to date. So what does that mean? There are 70 degrees left over to find, and that's our answer because it's asking us to find angle T at the bottom there has to be 70. So there's actually a couple ways to do that problem. That is just one way. What concept did I use? The sum total of all 4 angles in a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. All right, 27. 27 doesn't have a picture. It says one side of a kite is 8 centimeters less one side of a kite is 8 centimeters less than 4 times the length of another side. Well, for example, I don't know this one. but I know this one is 8 centimeters less than 4 times the other one. So these two will be the same, and those two will be the same. One more time. One side of a kite is 8 centimeters less than 4 times the length of the other side. So that's how we would interpret this word problem. These two sides we have no idea, but these two are 8 centimeters less than 4 times the other side. It tells us the perimeter is 78 altogether. So when I add up all 4 sides, it should be 78. So when I do that, 4x and 4x and x, that is 10x altogether. Negative 8, that's negative 16. That is going to be equal to 78. So 10x equals, let's see, what is that, 94? And x is 9.4. That's the value of x. So it says find the lengths of the sides of the kite. Well, 9.4, 9.4, and then when I do back substitute, 9.4 times 4 minus 8 is going to be 29.6. This length in here is going to be 29.6, and so is that one. So what are the two lengths right there? Are they 9.4 and 29.6? Okay, since the test we're taking doesn't cover all of chapter 6, question number 28 is not on our test. We didn't get to that, so I'm going to skip that. Same thing with 29, same thing with 30, same thing with 31, same thing with 32. And let's stop right there, and then let's create another video for the last part of this test, which is not multiple choice. Okay.